Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Tuesday, December 19th. And we're going to be watching the late week storm that could bring a blanket of snow, especially across the northern portions of lower Michigan. And we got to keep an eye on that cold high pressure. It may press that system a little farther south, and if it does, parts of south central and central Michigan could get more in the way of snow. So it's certainly not a done deal yet that all the snow will stay well up north, but that looks like the most likely bet. A secondary low will develop along the front. It'll be a weaker one, but come Sunday night, Christmas Eve into early Christmas morning, we could see anywhere from a trace to a couple of inches of snow from that. So certainly we still have a good chance of getting white Christmas up here in the Middleton, Breckenridge, Newaygo area with 4 to 6 inches of snow on the ground. I think it's still a pretty good bet. It's a pretty heavy snow, so we'll be hard pressed to melt that, especially if we get snow Thursday night into Friday before we see it change over or mix, that we could add another inch or two at the beginning of this storm. So again, I think most areas of mid-Michigan will have a good shot at a white Christmas. Plenty of sunshine today, highs around 40 to 43. It'll be breezy in the afternoon, then much cooler on Wednesday with highs only in the upper 20s to around 30. And again, as we get into Thursday, that system begins to approach and we'll see some snow break out either late in the afternoon or Thursday evening, and that'll last into at least Friday morning. And then again, we'll have to wait and see what the track of the storm is to see if we switch over to rain, and if we do, where that'll be. The best bet of mainly all rain will be around the Lansing area off to the south. And if we look at conditions around the area this morning, temperatures in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees, so a pretty mild start to the day. We'll only go a few degrees higher, I think, and then that front will begin to move through the area and cool us down. Our normal highs for the day is 39, normal low is 18. You can see we had a high yesterday of 38, almost 39 degrees, a low of 28 with just 0.02 of an inch of rainfall. And so far we got 4.5 inches on the ground as of this morning, obviously before 7, but that shouldn't change that much. On the weather map this morning, we'll see a couple of cold fronts that's going to be trying to push this way, and that'll keep us from getting too warm, and those will be very important, especially the secondary front. How far south that gets when the low pressure system begins to track up that front will, again, really be a big determining factor of where the track of the storm goes. By tomorrow, that low pressure system, the lead low, now settles down into southwest South Dakota. This is a secondary low or something similar to that that could give us that snow Sunday night. And again, if we look at the weather map as we move into the day on Thursday, it settles down into portions of Kansas. And again, depending on how far southeast this digs, before it makes its move to the northeast, that's going to have a big determining factor on where that rain snow line will be. Again, the depiction here for Thursday is we see a mixture of precipitation, snow, maybe sleet. Could be a pocket of freezing rain early before temperatures warm. And again, we'll have to watch that very closely. As far as the my initial guess is where we might see snow from this, about 2 inches or so is possible across much of mid-Michigan. The heavier snows, 6 inches or more, are possible up north. Again, the GFS and the Canadian aren't terribly bullish. They have about 4 to 8, maybe 4 to 9 inches of snow up north, but the European would just land base parts of these areas between 10 and 15 inches of snow, and it would bring the 4-inch line down around the Mount Pleasant Clare area. And again, that's getting very close to some of our locations, with mainly rain off to the south, but some we're going to certainly keep an eye on over the next couple of days. And again, it'll be depending on how strong that high pressure system, which will eventually bring some mighty cold air in there. In fact, on Christmas Day, highs are only going to be in the teens with lows down probably in the single digits. And we got maybe the coldest stretch in 17 years coming from Christmas right on through New Year's. So it's going to be very, very cold, and we should pick up some snow at that time as well. You can see the precipitation over the next 5 days, which would encompass this storm and a secondary wave, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch across much of the area, maybe a 1/2 inch or more up north, and that'll mainly be in the form of snow up here. And if we look at the snowfall prediction from the Canadian, this is through 7 a.m. Christmas morning, and that'll include both systems, the secondary low as well. And you can see it would certainly give a good chance for a white Christmas across much of the state of Michigan. So let's hope that one is closer to the truth. And if we look at the GFS, and again, that's through 7 a.m. Christmas, would certainly give parts of the Saginaw Valley, Breckenridge area, Alma, or towards maybe Marlette, some accumulating snows of at least a couple of inches, maybe 3 inches, and even an inch or two possible across the Lansing area. So again, some hope on that model as well. The forecast for today, again, we'll have highs in the low 40s, and then we could drop down to the low 20s, so the cooler air moves in for the next couple of days, and then we have to watch where that front sets up We'll have a mixed bag of precipitation. I think it starts out as snow for Thursday late in the day, Thursday night, early Friday before it comes mixed with, and then maybe changes to rain, especially across southern lower Michigan. And then we'll see temperatures begin to fall as we get into the weekend. And again, by Christmas Day, only highs around 18 degrees with lows at 10 or even lower than that. So certainly, I think we have a decent chance of a white Christmas, but it may be a close call in some areas. And again, for Weather Watch this morning, we have winter weather advisories off portions of the Keweenaw Peninsula and the shoreline of the eastern areas of the UP. And again, this yellow area, I shrunk it up a little bit. This gives about the best chance of where the low pressure system looks like it's going to go right now. And that would put the heavier snow about 75 miles further north of the track of the low. And again, the secondary low on the European tracks right up through the thumb area. And that by that time, there'll be plenty of cold air. And I think, again, the best chance of accumulating snows in the MAC area is going to be across the areas from around Clarksville up towards the Saginaw Valley and maybe over into the thumb area. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.